Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Amigos show. I'll move over there so you can see uh, the logo. Today is just myself and Jin Chao. Welcome everyone, and today
Oh,
we have a really, really good episode, I think, anyway, and we'll talk some more about it. But before we get into that, just wanted to point out that we are sponsored by Tequila AI, if you can see
mhm.
there. So good group
I'm
of
going to
people.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, they got some really good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're on the other side and I'm on this side.
I
There you
keep
go.
pointing to the wrong one because it's mirror image, right?
Yeah, it's confusing. So yeah, it is confusing. So Jinshao, this week we have a couple of things to talk about. The one big thing is the Anthropic standoff, and that was very interesting. That seemed
Mhm.
to kick off and move very very quickly. But basically, they Anthropic was already using Claude inside the Pentagon,
Mhm.
and they basically had two red lines. There were non-negotiables as such, and
Right.
basically they didn't want it to be used for mass surveillance on the United States or in the U.S. and Americans, U.S. citizens.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the other was that, and the second one was that you couldn't remove the safeguards to kill people, like that. It wouldn't be used to take people out.
Right.
And so
Is
it
that
came to
something
a
to
head.
do? Yeah. Is that something to do with the video? I'm not sure seeing it or not. Like a Chinese robot carry a gun, marching forward and shooting it. Was
I
that
mean,
around the TikTok? Was that?
yeah, it could be. I mean, you never know. I mean, robots with guns. That to me is, oof, yeah.
I've
That
seen a
because
video somewhere.
it has no conscience, it has no anything. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make a difference. I mean, even I was watching. I don't know. My grandfather was part of World War II, and I like watching World War II stuff.
Mhm.
And one of the things in the show was saying that the Nazis at the time, when they were doing the extermination of the Jews, that they put in what do you well, that this is why they came with the what they call the final solution, or the solution was to use gas chambers, because soldiers that were killing and killing and killing people, it was affecting them. And now we have AI robots that they don't have a conscience, they just work away.
No.
So those were the two red lines, and uh, basically they didn't want to do that. It's a $200 million contract that they had from last July,
Mm.
and it came to a head when Anthropic told the Pentagon that the latest contract language did not fully commit, uh, that the military would not use their technology in fully autonomous weapons and mass domestic surveillance, and
Mhm.
that's where it just basically said the department would allow safeguards to be discarded at will. And
Mhm.
that's where the problem is. And so even Trump came out and said, hey, all U.S. federal agencies stop using Anthropic. That was it. Like, stop using it.
But
And then
200 million seems very small contract, right? Consider like if you buy any weapons,
200
right?
million is nothing. That's
Yeah.
nothing. And which is surprising. And then what happened after that is that OpenAI came in and they got the contract now. So what I've been seeing over the weekend, a lot of people have been canceling their ChatGPT accounts and have been opening Claude, and so much so that on
Mm.
Monday and Tuesday there was Claude was down, because
Oh,
there was just an oversubscription of too many people. It's the number one downloaded app on the App Store now, and Apple. But the thing is that what I don't understand is that OpenAI got the new contract and still kept those two red lines in the contract, meaning that the
yeah.
Pentagon agreed to not mass surveillance on Americans, and agreed to, not taking off for safeguards, that
Mm.
people can be discarded as will.
Mm.
And so they got the very same thing that Perplexity asked for, and now
Right.
OpenAI's got a $200 million contract with the U.S. military.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to even make up for the amount of subscribers that are leaving. that
It sounds
believe
like,
that
yeah,
believe that they've given the Pentagon what they want, and all safeguards have been removed, and that's not true.
right. Yeah, it sounds like when they negotiate with the Claw, right? Says, okay, those are two red lines, and Pentagon says, no, 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 we need some more, and maybe that's where Claw says, I'll put the plug, and then Pentagon says, oh, who else do we have? Right?
And that's
Like,
basically
oh,
what they did. They didn't like what they had heard, and
yeah.
basically, I was looking here, a quotable moment by I don't know who this Dario Amade is. We cannot, in good conscience, accede to the Pentagon's request, adding that some
Hmm.
users also simply outside the bounds of what today's technology can
Mm.
safely and reliably do.
But if
So,
you're thinking about the, yeah, also if you're thinking about those are the two company, U.S. company, which doesn't have a massive business integration like Gemini, right? Gemini, they do actually need to have some sort of income from different companies. That's what I think maybe Pentagon go for them because Google is flying with their Gemini stuff. It's integrated so deeply into the whole ecosystem, right?
oh, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, what's going to go on there? And I know that for a fact that big tech companies have worked with the U.S. government, and I mean, I'm sure it happens around the world. This is not anything new, but that it's just interesting how that has happened. But if you think about it, is Anthropic being principled or are they being naive? I mean, if the Pentagon says it won't do X, why isn't it promising? Would it just do it anyway? What we
Perhaps,
use AI for?
yeah, we'll have some viewers says hi, hi back.
StarCraft. I used to remember playing StarCraft.
Yeah, definitely.
But the U.S. went nuclear option in regards to this, Jin Shao. And the reason I'm saying is that they said they designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk to national security. And this is normally for foreign adversaries, not, you know, U.S. companies. So this
Mm,
is a big, big thing. And then, of course, like I said, Trump simultaneously decided that, all U.S. government entities cease using Anthropic. So it is interesting. It's unprecedented historically
yeah.
that American companies is a supply chain risk.
And does it open? I'm not sure now. Does I know Claude has a Claude desktop. It can actually do the agent work, right? It can actually work on your computer and all the tasks, all that sort of stuff. Has OpenAI or ChatGPT per se has that functionality now or not?
I know with Cloud Co-work, it's gotten where you can work. It can work within your ecosystem, but it's not to the level of CloudBot. And then I know that CloudBot got the founder of it is
Yep.
now working for OpenAI. So uh,
Okay.
I would say that would be coming
Oh
to
yeah. Yeah.
ChatGPT sometime soon. But like the co-work in Claude, it
Hmm.
works similar to CloudBot. The only thing is you can't do I mean, it has access to all your computer and things. It can organize files. It can do a lot of different things. But what it can't do is, like I know with CloudBot, is you can send messages from your phone and work through Telegram and talk back to the agent and assign it to do certain things and see where it's at
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah.
that. And
I feel like that's just a connector. If you have a kind of interface or if you install the app or something, it was connect to that, you can do the same thing. I think that's just a kind of easier integration. Um, but talking about that, it's interesting as well. Like when we're looking into the other side of the world, China side, all their models we know of is either making video, making music, making sales in TikTok and all that sort of stuff. I
mm,
don't see much of those stuff going on, which I experienced and played Mini Max. I'm not sure any of our audience does that. They call Max Cloud. It's kind of you can just simply click and install on their cloud straight away, and as the open cloud, right? As a one button installation just came out about a week ago. Yeah,
Minimax, you said, right? Is
Yeah, Minimax. If you go into their they have different platform. One of them, they don't have the kind of console interaction. What they only have is the Minimax agent. So once you go inside, it's kind of like a chat console, but there is actually their agent, and then they have a Max Claw agent as well if you want to deploy. And then when you deploy, it asks you what you wanted to do with it. You can choose like business analysis or whatever you want. There's depends on the skill. It has those 5 or 6 default one. They have quite a big community for the skills you can install into your agent as well, into the Minimax agent.
how much does that cost? Do you know? Do you know how much that costs?
Sorry.
Do you know how much that
costs? Yes, I did subscribe for a month, which I was quite pissed off. It was $19, right? I said, okay, that's 16 euro in Ireland. When I click on it, and there is a text on top of it later on, so I come up as 21 euro. That's just monthly subscription. But if you go for the yearly one, it's supposed to save you about 13%. That's it. This is not a sales pitch. This is just experiences.
No, I'm just wondering more about it because, I'm looking at it here myself as well. And I'm looking at, I see Minimax agent is what it is. Max Claw, build your own agent with skills and sub agents. And when you click in there, it has, get started now. And I didn't click it because.
What the selling point of them is you buy it, you kind of every day you get 200 credits. Once you buy the cheapest one, as I did, monthly you got 5,000 credit. So when you set up a mini like OpenClaw on your, people are doing that on the Mac Mini or whatever, it's still burning the tokens, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of as a bundle, so you wouldn't go over it. So that's the difference. So you wouldn't have a massive bill. This is just 21.99 or 21 euro. You can give it a go, and jump to another level is probably 50 quid. That's 10,000 tokens. Yeah. But that's not impressive bit. I feel like it's okay. You can do that if you're a programmer. You can do that on your local machine. Do some stuff. I just don't get the whole agent bit that well, because it burns token really quickly. If you wanted to do a deep task on those kind of platform, all that.
And what kind of things can you do in that, Jinsha? Like, what?
I don't know. I was just there's 2 things I did, right? One thing is I give a task about researching some stocks and give me some information, all that I can do daily. Any information of this company or something come to me, bring out to a documentation. And then it's also, I was trying to do something for our show, right? Gather all the information for our audience, what we're going to talk about and all that. You can do that. Okay. But I still don't know because it doesn't connect to it just research on the internet. It doesn't connect to those filings, or how can you get accurate information about finance or something? And you can actually connect those bots to like trading platform, but I never try it. I don't know how to do it. So that's probably why I don't find it quite interesting.
Well, I mean, it is important to get, you see here 24/7 autonomous operation. Obviously, you have, like I said, runs on their server, cost effective. And like we said, just like you said there, Jinsha, as a disclaimer to everyone, we're not promoting this, we're not selling this, we're just telling you what's come out, what's out there now. Yeah.
But they have another product, their audio, I find is pretty good. And they have a weird service called Talkie. This is what I did research on, right? Talkie is kind of like a personal companion. You can talk to the person, but I find it's weird. Audio is pretty good. I actually cloned my voice in 60 seconds, just reading random stuff, which is very accurate. I remember back to days using, what was the other platform about audio? Everyone is using that.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes, we did this and we talked to it. You were able to talk to it like in a normal conversation, like.
Yeah, there's a platform everyone is using for the audio. I forgot what it is, but definitely Minimax is a lot cheaper. Mhm.
What's it called? Geez, you telling me things.
Yeah.
Think about how fast this has changed. I remember
Yes.
what you're talking about, and they were using it for like if you had a voice agent, if you wanted like
Yes.
for calling, if someone called
Yes.
in, you had a person, and it was the AI. It was not Julius. It was
Not the Julius. Oh, it's just
Hmm.
I don't remember now. I'm searching now.
yeah, same here. Let's see here. Let's see here. No, I'm just not putting the right one.
Something coming out now. Next.
11 Labs. That's it.
Yes,
11
you're right.
Labs.
You're right.
That's
But
it.
11 Labs is quite expensive. This is a lot cheaper. I think a lot cheaper for people who wanted to clone the voice and and I was even thinking about we can do some updates and all that with my voice or your voice. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, earlier when you were mentioning about Gemini and how Google has put Gemini into everything, and I know that even today there was some things that I was looking at where it's working inside Google Drive and things like that that you and
Hmm.
I discussed. But now looks like Apple is surrendering Siri to Google. They're basically putting away their Siri and developing their own AI, and they're bringing in Google
Yeah,
Gemini.
that's a strange thing, right? As big company as big as Apple, I don't know where they spend the money. They don't seem like in this AI race at all. We hardly have some news. I remember last year we get some news about Apple integrated the AI into all the platform. I tried it, and then you can make a video. You can you can make a photo. You can put edit and all that sort of stuff. That was it. But this seems like really behind, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. I mean, and I know that when I first got when I shouldn't say when I first got, but about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, on my iPhone, I remember because I was in the U.S. and I was able to put in. There you go. Thanks, Declan.
Thank you.
He's on the spot there. There's no flies on Declan. And if they are, they're paying rent. Thank you, Declan. Yeah. I was able to use ChatGPT
Mhm.
inside of my iPhone, which was already, but
Yeah,
it looks like that they've now Apple has decided to go with Google over OpenAI and even Anthropic.
yeah,
So this is quite interesting development, I think. But it's like you're saying, like where's theirs? Where
mm,
is where is Apple's AI? And they don't even seem they're at the races. They're not involved at all in any kind of AI that I can see.
yeah. I mean, also, if you look at all the new phones, Android phones, right? Samsung, all those, they have already integrated with a lot of AI functions. I know even like a Chinese company, Oppo or Samsung, you can adjust the photos and remove people, all that sort of stuff, background cleaning using AIs. So I think they just feel a little bit behind, especially Android is Google as well.
Well,
I
I
do
mean,
think,
go on. Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Apple has always been a big proponent of privacy. Like that has been a really big deal for them.
Hmm.
And I'm reading here that Apple has asked Google to explore running the Gemini-powered Siri on Google's cloud infrastructure, with Google potentially establishing new servers tailored to Apple's privacy standards.
Yeah,
So they say, yeah, we want you to maintain our privacy standard. And I would say that, well, obviously Apple is large enough to demand something like that, because if you and I did, they wouldn't care. But yeah, so you know, and someone said, this is interesting because there's always been the argument between iPhone and Android phone and iPhone, and people go, oh, I've moved
mhm,
from Android phone because I'm just an iPhone user or Apple. And
yeah,
now those Apple people are going to be using Google stuff on their Apple. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, But like I remember back the days, if you're a drug dealer, okay.
I remember those days like yesterday, didn't you?
Not me, not me. But if you have an iPhone, you don't have face detection on, like Face ID. You just use password, and basically, is the security is hard to get into. But like for Android, and you just plug in, you can find all the information. That's why somebody doing this kind of illegal stuff all use iPhones.
Mm. Well, I mean,
Not as you know, but like you know, you probably.
I'm an iPhone user myself. Okay, so
Oh, are you doing something?
now maybe I'm an Android user. I don't know. But one thing now, thinking of these two stories, these two leading stories we talked about, which was the Pentagon story and then the Apple story. The underlying thread between those two is who controls AI and who can be trusted with it, right? Like
Yeah.
who has it? So like Anthropic said even the government cannot be cannot have unrestricted access, and they got punished for it. And Apple said even our core products can outsource to Google, and they're hoping that the iPhone users won't care.
Yeah, and then this is just directly use AI. We don't know how to use it, but I saw X post someone actually using AI and build a global surveillance system. It's
scary.
It's quite scary. It uses AI builder, the coded everything. So it's a globe. You can zoom in any location. It use probably Google Map or some sort of. You can see you can click into the place and see the street and everything, right? What's crazy on top of that is you remember you see a lot of the website, you can select a webcam or CCTV camera of certain location, right?
Yeah.
He integrated that as well. So you can zoom in place if it has CCTV, you can see it straight and see the live feed straight away on that location.
Okay. I mean, it's can we trust, and that's the thing, right, Jinsha? I mean, ultimately, I mean, like what you're talking about there, like it's gonna be very, very scary stuff. But even like with OpenAI, there's the quit GPT, the hashtag quit GPT. That's
I know
that's what we're saying. So and
like they're doing this shit. I'm still making image of banana cars.
And let me tell you, those images are super impressive, Jinsha.
Oh, so cool. Just a backstory for our audience, right? I have this when you purchase the car. I bought a car back last year or a year before, and then they have this awkward photo with the dealer and and us, me and my son standing beside the car and take a photo. I said, okay, this is a good chance to edit out the photo. So I tried the Grok. Grok is really good at making photos, give you all the options straight away. They're not like GPT or Gemini. It just when you create it, they give you 2 max, right? So the Grok you make, so the Grok you make it, you can scroll down. It just all the variants. It just keeps going until your credit runs out. So you can choose which I had fun with it. So many different image. It was quite good. It was quite. There's a version of Lamborghini. Yeah, there's a version of different salesman. I have to say,
I've seen some of those images, and there was a saleswoman. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, when you buy a Ferrari, it has to be a saleswoman, right? Yeah.
Does it? Okay, all right.
A friend of us says this man is not, the sales guy is not good, so I have to change it. That's it.
Fair enough. Okay, well, everyone, we've come to the end of our podcast today. Thank you, Jin Chao, and thank you for those who participated. Really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys next week on our new time on Wednesdays. So see you guys then.
Bye now.